On the type of alien that we're talking about here. Alright, so we got jump. And then green, what did that describe?
The aliens.
The aliens, because maybe in your world, aliens are red. Maybe they're rainbow colored. I don't know. But they're green in Josh's world. Okay, good. Now, well, I should have left those up there. I'm going to leave these up here as inspiration. Alright. New paragraph. New paragraph. New unit of thought. Those pictures that you have with you, real quick, those pictures that you have with you, you are going to be writing a paragraph about those pictures. If you don't have one, if you forgot it, you need to partner up with somebody, okay?
What picture?
You are going, the pictures we've been talking about this whole class period. Some of you have them on your phones. Some of you brought it in a little family portrait, that's great. Some of you may have a newspaper article, that's great. Your picture, okay? And you are
Here. There's none here. Wayne.
here.
Kaylin. Dr. Duvall. Define a paragraph. How many sentences should a paragraph have? Huh?
Read this.
You have 5 minutes to complete it.
Okay. Today, a lot of the stuff we're doing is timed, okay? And even though Joshua still read that, I still see a lot of you writing this down. I'm trying to make it easy on you today, guys. You don't have to write it down. It means you don't have to write it down. In bold letters, read. You do not have to write this. Okay, see, already, trying to keep us on time, already we're behind. We've got to read the board. Okay, we've got to come in quickly, we've got to sit down. So, stop writing, because you only need to, unless you're writing in your agenda, okay? That's how I think we should talk about calculating the scores real quick. Okay. Guys, your test was out of 50, so if you want to look at your Scantron, you have a grade in red at the bottom, and if you want to know what your actual grade is that's going in Infinite Campus, you double it. So if your score says 40, then your actual grade is an 80, okay? Every problem counted for 2 points. Yes. I gave you your pre-test and your post-test together, and I'm going to explain why I did that in just a minute, okay?
What about 27?
So I'm gonna do this first before we do. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's great. All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with, I gave you 2 Scantrons that were clipped together. The only reason why you wouldn't have 2 Scantrons is if you happen to be absent for the pre-test or the post-test. All right, guys, whenever I went through this, I was able to find, I started out and I put all of your all's scores, if you just kind of want to turn just a teensy bit this way, I put all of your all's scores on a graph. And I know it's not very big, it wouldn't print very big, and after magnetizing 5 or 6 times, this was as big as it would get. But I put them in order, from the highest score to the least score. And I kept you guys all in order. And then I plotted your scores again. These 2 drops right here are from students that were absent, so those won't even count towards what it looks like. But in order to make the graph, it made me put those in there. But can you guys tell a difference on what happened on our pre-test and what happened on our post-test? What does the trend look like, guys? Yes, sir?
Some did a lot better and some stayed about the same. But overall, we did better.
Okay, he said maybe some of us did way better and some of us stayed close to the same, but he said overall, it looks like we improved. Thumbs up if we agree that we look like we improved as a group. Okay, so I wrote us some little statistics out to the side so we would know how we did. It said 76% of our class, which is over 3/4 of us, 19 students, met our goal. Only 6 students are going to need some more skills practice. 2 students were absent, and only 1 student showed a decline from the pre-test to the post-test. So overall, I would say that we did a great job there. Some of you may be wondering, when you're looking at your Scantrons, if I happen to be one of those students that fall in the category of I did not meet my goal of 70%, how can I get there? What do we do now? Well, Miss Duvall and I met and we talked with each other, and what we are going to do is on Mondays during library time, if you need extra practice on those skills, we are going to pull you as a small group in the library, and we'll work on building those skills so that you can move on with the rest of the class and not miss instruction in regular class time, okay? And we will talk about that on Mondays as we go. We also let you guys take the STAR test yesterday. Yes, James? Wait till we get done and then you can sharpen, okay? All right, but we also took a STAR test yesterday. Miss Duvall and I we pulled up all the data from your STAR. And I'm going to show you all. Everybody look here. This is first test. This is second test. What happened? Dropped. What are possible reasons for our STAR score to drop from one time to the next when we had lots of instruction in between? Davion?
In the beginning of the school year, we was all listening, and once it start getting in, once it start you getting in, the more and more, we stop listening.
Okay, Davion said maybe some of you aren't listening well. Hunter?
Maybe you get confused by the information that you had gotten, and it might have been clear before the lessons.
Okay, so maybe your understanding was clear before. Okay, Carlos?
Maybe like after, like maybe like since we're getting deeper in the school year, maybe like some people, like the information might be like a little bit harder to take in.
Okay, maybe a little bit harder as we move on through the year. Some of the things that I saw yesterday was the concentration level on the second test was nothing like the first test. The second test, you guys were kind of lean back, and it was more of a relaxation than it was a true focus for you. And I think a lot of times without that true focus when you're taking that STAR test, if you're rushing while you're reading, or if maybe the person sitting next to you has got you a little bit off task, then it proves to be difficult for you to answer those questions, especially if there's a lengthy reading before them. So we will test you again soon to see if we can make this dot come up here. And I'll tell you what the lines mean. This would be at the 25th percentile, this would be at the 50th percentile, and this line right here would be the 75th percentile. We were before 50th percentile first of the school year, and now just a teensy bit below. But we are going to work really hard, and we're going to work on our concentration in order to bring that test up. I also want you to take a look really quickly at our bookshelf. Miss Carr did not pass your book sleeves. Write the book names on them. That will be great. Normally this would be done Monday during the library, but we just didn't have the slips and you guys didn't get to fill them out. So we are making progress towards our AR goal, but Ms. Duvall and I also looked that up and we're behind. So everybody's got to put in that best effort into getting our books read. It's very important to Ms. Duvall and I, either one, to let us know that there was a skill from this previous unit that you want some help on. We can do before school and after school help too, okay? All right, and now we're going to move on. Since we're done with our Unit 1 on narratives, we are going to start Unit 2, which is going to be a writing unit, and Ms. Duvall is going to set that up for you guys.
All right, guys, I'm really excited about this unit because this is one of my favorite things to do. I'm a writer, and I know I have lots of writers in here too, so y'all should be excited about this one. Okay, the best part about this, well, not the best, but a cool thing, is we're going to redo this whole thing right now because we're starting a whole new unit. Does anybody see any reason? Thank you. And I'm going to need some of you guys who feel like you can write pretty fast, like as far as speed goes and neatness goes. Speed and neatness. I need you. I need your help. Because I'm going to have some of you guys write some things up here for me, and I'm going to talk about it while you're writing it. So,
Natalie, go up.
You be writing questions. Nobody can.
all right, Natalie, and then DeMarco, you just be on deck right there, sit in seat 5. Okay, Natalie, you're going to write our goals. You're going to write this first section. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, you'll write right there. And then DeMarco, you just hang it for just a second. Yeah, just like those that I just erased. You can kind of see their shadow. All right. So while she writes, I'm going to talk about what she's writing, because in order to do well, you got to know what your goals are. Okay, so for this writing unit, we've been reading narratives, now you're going to write one. I can, this is you guys speaking, I mean you, I can define a paragraph and evaluate the number of sentences necessary for a paragraph. I can write a narrative using appropriate narrative techniques. And I heard from last period, you guys already know about these, but we need more practice. Details, dialogue, and pacing. Hopefully those are kind of familiar terms. We're going to refresh on that. I can produce clear writing by remaining focused, completing a very short pre-write, and checking my work with a dictionary or a thesaurus, which you guys have practiced with that too, because you did that on your last test, but we got to get better. And then I can write a narrative within 40 minutes. Do y'all hear that? Repeat it back. 40 minutes. 40 minutes, okay? That's not a lot of time. That's why we're practicing this, so when we get to go time with K-Prep, that we're not panicking. Okay? K-Prep is the real deal. You're right.
This is the real thing.
Exactly. So we need to practice to be good at it. So we've got goals going. DeMarco is writing down our plan, which we've got to come up with a plan to get to our goals. So everybody keep looking back here. Check out what your classmates are doing for you, okay? We will, together, we're going to define and apply the 3 main elements of a narrative. So like we talked about literary elements last unit, we're talking about these narrative elements this time, which again are description, dialogue, and pacing. And we're going to practice completing tasks in shorter time frames. You're going to be hearing my alarms go off because you're going to see that, hey, we've got to start working a lot faster if we're going to be able to write in these short time frames. And then finally, 70% of this class, 70% of our students are going to score a 3 or higher on our on-demand timed writing assignment, which you guys are going to do on Friday. Okay? Which I know that you have some familiarity with that 4-point scale from social studies, from Ms. Emberton's class. So same deal, okay? That's what we're going to be doing with the plan. Now I need a volunteer for...
I've got you one.
Do. Great. Caitlin, come on up. Let's do blue. And you can move this desk if you need to. If you need to scoot it back against the wall. Alright, so while she's writing, what are we gonna do? Okay, well what are you guys gonna do, and what is Miss Gass? I still gotta get used to that. And myself gonna do to help you guys?
I'm hungry.
You guys, here's what we've got. Students will come to class prepared to work quickly. Again, we're gonna really emphasize that. Quickly and efficiently participate in class discussions. You guys are great with that, okay? And complete all your work in class. And if you, well, that's my sign meaning that I need to go a little faster too. See, it's not easy. Let's see. Ms. Gass and Ms. Duvall will group students according to your learning styles, because you guys took that style inventory. So we're going to try to help you out by catering to your needs. How you learn best, we're going to try to do that for you.
Does everybody remember what it showed you at the end of the screen yesterday? It showed you what your learning style was. We're going to actually use those groups today.
And when you're in those groups, we're going to create some engaging assignments to help you guys practice. We're going to set high expectations for you guys. Because just like we talked about your STAR test and your test scores, we know that you can do better. And we're going to get there. We're going to get there together. Alright, and that's all we need to record really, because your study on the PDSA, that's going to be Friday when you guys take the on-demand. And then we'll go from there. We'll say, okay, well what can we do better for the next time we do on-demand? And what did we do well when we took our on-demand? We'll decide that after Friday. Alright.
Guys, we're going to talk about the bell ringer, and then we are going to break into 2 groups. Ms. Duvall is going to have a group, and then Ms. Carr, Ms. Gass is going to have a group in the back. I just have one quick question before we go into groups. Can you guys tell me what actively listening and participating looks like? Davion's got it. What is it?
No,
You got it.
no, I was asking.
Oh, you were asking?
No,
That's what it actively looks like? Very good. He had his eyes on me. He had the ear going on. So I can always tell if you're paying attention and you're participating with me, if we've got good eye contact, if you're into what I'm talking about. So that's what we want to see in our groups, okay?
All right. Okay, so now we're going back to our bell ringer.
Have to go.
Think about this. Joshua's superstar read for us, so we know what's going on. We've got to figure out, okay, how can I define a paragraph and how many sentences should it have? Let's get an idea here. What do you guys think? If you were going to give me a definition, don't tell me the number of sentences yet. Tell me the definition first. How would you define it, honey?
Hey, the number of sentences describing what you're trying to get across.
Okay, good. I like that. So it is composed of sentences describing what you're trying to get across. I like it. Can you add to that, Carlos?
Paragraph is sentences of words that give details about stories and that tell you stuff, what's going on.
So paragraphs can make up stories or they can make up articles. Okay. There's one, you're both right. We've got to add more to it though, because there's one really important component.
And the paragraph's like, when you write one, it's like a 8 sentence. You gotta write 8 sentences to complete a paragraph.
No, wait, you're getting into my numbers. How many sentences
Oh.
should it have? If you were going to define it,
It's like, you can say, like, write a paragraph about your fall break. And you can kind of like say, what I did on the fall break is, and then you can go on.
so your paragraph, would it only be about fall break?
Now you can put, like, you can write a paragraph as whatever you want.
You can write it about whatever topic you want,
But are you gonna stick to that topic, or are you gonna talk about multiple topics at once? Whatever you think about, I'm writing a paragraph.
If you put it as if you're writing a story, and you put animals, you could be talking about the whole thing of the book about animals.
Right, so when we pick a paragraph, it makes it flow so much better if we talk about that one subject throughout that paragraph. You're right.
good. That's the key thing. So it's got to be about one subject.
One subject.
Okay. So three more people tell us, and that definition of paragraph, you guys are going to be writing in a minute, okay? You're not going to be writing it in your journals. You're going to be writing in your class notes in a few slides, so be ready for that. But how many sentences should it have? Raise your hand. How many sentences, Alexis?
5 to 7.
5 to 7, got a little range.
Austin, he said 7 also.
One more person. So we had a guy and a girl, now let's get another girl.
Emily,
Narrow down our choices.
At least 5.
she said at least 5, so we were all close, weren't we?
no, 8.
Here's somebody, real quick,
8 to
John.
10.
How many sentences are in this paragraph? Count.
1.
Is that okay? All right. How many sentences are in this paragraph? A lot, right? Count one. Five? Okay, so in Rapunzel, which you guys know all too well, so 1 sentence paragraph and there's a 5 sentence paragraph. Are they still paragraphs? We're gonna think about this. Yeah, no, they're fine.
It's a paragraph.
Oh, we already did that, sorry. We already did that. Okay.
Guys, I'm gonna pass you out an Oreo, okay? You can, but hold on to it really quickly while Miss Duvall explains to us why we're getting an Oreo. We want you to think.
Because here's the big thing about learning about paragraphs today is we need to drive this point home that a paragraph is about one topic. One topic. You're going to organize your writing by using paragraphs, but each paragraph is about how many topics? One topic. Yell it out.
One topic.
One topic. Great. Because, you know, as a teacher, we may say, okay, write a paragraph, and it needs to have 5 sentences. We may say that to you because there may be times when we want you to stretch your brain and we want you to try to write more, and that's important, okay? We've got to give you guys specific guidelines, so we may do that in class. But just like John said, he looked at my Rapunzel story, not the one I wrote, not my Rapunzel story.
Oh, congratulations, I didn't know you
Thank
were an
you.
author.
Yes, I'm doing prayer. There was a paragraph that had one sentence, and that's okay. That's okay, because it had one topic. So, a paragraph can be any number of sentences, but let's talk about why a paragraph can be like an Oreo. And last class we did this, we had a little bit of discussion, and I found out that you may already know some vocabulary that I may try to give you today. So what I want to do first is I want to talk about it with the person across the row from you. Point at who you're going to talk to really quickly. Who are you going to talk to? It's okay if there are groups of 3 because we don't have an even number. So just point at who you're going to talk to. Hey, you join Alexis and Emily back there.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all ready? You know somebody who you're going to talk to? You're answering this question. Actually, you're going to answer all 3. Okay? How is an Oreo like a paragraph? Who likes the cream filling the best? That's an easy thing. What would happen to the cookie if it didn't have the cream filling? Are you ready? Go. Hocus pocus, everybody focus. All right, now you guys can eat your Oreo now. All right? So we're just going to let one person participate on each question so that we can move on and get to our groups before class is over with today, okay? How is an Oreo like a paragraph? Kaylin?
It's got a main idea and 2 details, basically, or a topic, and 2 sentences to support that topic.
Okay, so he said it's got 2 sentences to support a topic. You can think about this in all different kinds of ways. Davion had a different idea than Austin, and Austin had a different idea than Riley, but they were all really good ideas, okay? Who likes the cream filling and the Oreos the best? I have to admit, that's probably me. What would happen to that cookie? What would happen to that cookie if it didn't have that cream filling in the middle? What would happen, Carlos?
It would kind of like just be plain old 2 crackers with a kind of chocolate. And you know, if it was a story, it would kind of be like the story that had no characters, no main idea, no main topic.
I like that. He even used some good adjectives. He said just be a plain old cracker. Okay? All right, guys. Now what we're going to do.
Oh, just I'm writing down what it is.
Oh, okay. In there. Yeah. So, guys, you're going to need a piece of paper out of your notes section that we're going to keep this entire week throughout our writing so that you can look back to it. So everybody just grab a sheet of paper. Josh, we will need to get your binder, bud.
No, we need it to be in your binder so you have it in your closet.
And guys, make sure that your bell ringer binders just get put underneath your seat because we don't want those to go home. Yes, sir. No. Somebody like to read what a paragraph is aloud? Emily?
Paragraph is a primary unit of thought. A paragraph is a distinct unit. There's one idea and everything within that paragraph works to develop the main idea.
Very good. Okay, so let's everybody else, if you got your name called, go to the back. If you didn't, then yeah, grab your stuff and move towards the front. We're gonna be back here with my group. We can go to that.
You're moving to the back, not the front.
Arizona.
I'm on my way.
Arizona's gonna sit beside you. You don't have to share with it.
She's not gonna let you sit there, Davion. Don't get too comfortable.
That's true. Dimitri and Haley Garrison, you guys are back there. And then, yeah. There, my baby. Good job. Thank you. Hang on, which group are you in? Then you're in. If you guys want to, the last group, you'll get right in.
I told you that was gonna happen, bud.
Alright, just work. If somebody gets seated, probably in other groups, but move your seat. Somebody, are we ready? Are we ready? There's a paper can see right here. Alright, Jane. Alright, this will be fun. Let's go. I'm gonna go information. What you guys need in front of you is that extra sheet of paper that I asked you to get out. Yes, make sure we show because you're not tell. We use action words that are strong verbs. So it gets boring if all the time we're saying run. We can find more exciting words, close our eyes and think about. This was an actual situation. This is what we were able to come up with. After a long day of school, followed by he flopped onto his soft bed, wrapped those warm blankets around his exhausted body, and closed his eyes. So look how he took one simple sentence and made it and took it from Ryan was where are you gonna be? Okay, keep going on. So you have to pick really quickly. Okay. Gap one, okay guys? So now all eyes on me. Okay, because I'm gonna be I am nervous. So we can probably go with this. Is I am nervous a good descriptive sentence? What? No. Do you know? I'm sorry, bud. Just sit those on the floor. Now, boo-boo is a slang word that I might not know what that means.
That was a problem.
Duty.
Take it down.
Joshua. Okay, so that goes beside. Yes, I was wiping the sweat on my wrist.